Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us start the session with the question, what is this editorial about? This editorial is about several interconnected issues surrounding the discourse in politics, particularly concerning women politicians, and highlight the toxic nature of certain language and behaviors within this sphere. A very lengthy sentence, but in a nutshell, it is about interconnected issues related to women and women politicians. And also in the discourse means written or spoken text, or you can also say speech when it comes to speaking. And it goes more with speech. And the behavior that is rather toxic. Toxic means it goes with gases or fumes, but something like harmful toxic nature of certain language and behaviors within this sphere. Sphere, you should recollect words like field, arena, realm, all these. And what is the tone of the editorial? The tone of the editorial is critical and admonishing. Admonishing, an important word, you have to immediately recollect some words that go with synonyms rather. In formal English, scold, but formal, reprimand, chide, admonish, rebuke. All these words mean the same. Toxic, poison, venomous, very good. Naidu, Paidi, wonderful. It's all about political discourse, yes. Toxic words. Toxic means very unpleasant or unacceptable, one meaning. In this context, another meaning, harmful. Generally, the word toxic goes with gases. It also goes with fumes, toxic gases, toxic fumes. But here, toxic words. From this, you should be able to make out it is an adjective. Words, noun, and what sort of words are we talking about? Toxic words. That means it is an adjective. On the discourse in politics and women politicians, and it is toxic words about whom or where. In the field of politics, discourse in politics or political discourse, and against women politicians. But what is the main idea of this editorial? Women should bring down barriers to their own advancement, barriers, bottlenecks, hurdles, impediments. Here it says the main idea women should bring down. Today we talk about gender equality. Women face a lot of problems, and gender equality, it started way back in 1960s in the US. Equality. And there was a movement way back in 1960s known as feminism, feminist movement, fighting for equal rights for women. Women should bring down barriers. They have a lot of barriers, a lot of impediments or hurdles, and they should bring down, they have to remove their own barriers to their own advancement. If they remove the barriers they face, then they can advance. That's what it means. Congress social media in charge, Supriya Srinath, denigrating post, denigrate, criticize unfairly, or disparage. Disparage also an important word. Denigrating and criticizing unfairly. Denigrating post on actor Kangana Ranaut, now deleted, is unconscionable. Unconscionable means not right or not reasonable. You say something, you do something that is not reasonable, not based on rationality, cannot be justified. Then we use the word unconscionable. What does it mean? What is the background information? It is this editorial is all about a particular Congress leader commenting a particular leader of the BJP party, that is Kangana Ranaut, and based on that there was a political storm. What did this Congress politician said against Kangana Ranaut? Derogatory remarks. Congress social media in charge Supriya Shine denigrating post on actor Kangana Ranaut, now deleted. It has been deleted. This post, insulting or not acceptable post, is unconscionable. means not right, not reasonable. It is unacceptable that instead of apologizing, her defense through a video post was that many people have access to her Facebook and Instagram accounts and that someone made an extremely inappropriate post. What happened? There was a post against Kangana Ranaut, a derogatory remark or denigrating post, and it was from the account of Congress leader Supriya Srinath. When in this context, she is supposed to accept her mistake and apologize. But instead of apologizing, how she defended herself, she said her Instagram account, Facebook account, and Twitter, former Twitter, X account, many people have access, and someone must have done it. She did not own the particular post. It is unacceptable, and this is not acceptable. The editorial opines it is unacceptable that instead of apologizing, her defense her defense how through a video post, her defense was that many people have access to her Facebook and Instagram accounts, and that someone made an extremely inappropriate post. Here, there's one important expression you have to recall. Last time also I told someone not married, Miss. Someone married, Mrs. And what is this MS? MS we pronounce as Ms or Ms. It goes with a married or unmarried woman. It does not talk about the marital status. And you can say Ms. or Ms. Z sound. Ms. Renault, who is set to contest her maiden election, set to, ready to contest her maiden election from Mandi in Himachal Pradesh on a BJP ticket, took to X to castigate Ms. Sheenath, pointing out that women must be freed from shackles of prejudices and no one should use the challenging lives of sex workers or their circumstances as some kind of abuse or slur. We have four words here. First, I'll tell the meanings. Castigate, an important word. Reprimand, or someone severely. Punish or reprimand someone severely. Then we have shackles. Shackles has two different meanings. One meaning in this context to deprive of freedom, especially of action by means of restrictions. Imagine someone is in shackles, means what? They are restricted, their movement is restricted, they don't have the freedom to do what they want to do. But the literal meaning of shackles, if you take, there are two words you have to know. One is handcuffs. When someone is arrested, we see the person is arrested, the police use handcuffs. Imagine there's a hardcore criminal, then you see the irons, or we use the word shackles, from arms to legs so that the criminal does not escape. For that, we use the word shackles. Then we have the word castigate, I gave the meaning shackles. Abuse. Abuse has three different meanings. In this context, to speak insultingly, harshly, unjustly to or about. You talk to someone and using abusive language or bad words or foul language, abuse. He abused me. One example. Abuse also means misuse, abuse of power, a typical combination. Abuse also means ill treatment. And there's one combination abused a child. The stepmother abused the child, means ill treated. And slur, part of speech verb, it can also be a noun, to harm someone's reputation by criticizing them. Slur means, again, a derogatory remark to attack someone's reputation. This sentence is a lengthy sentence. What does it say? The one who is at the receiving end, Ms. Renault, she is set to contest her maiden election, first time election, from which place Mandi in Himachal Pradesh, on which party's ticket, on a BJP ticket, based on the comment she took to X, means she used the platform X to castigate, reprimand severely Ms. Sheenath, pointing out that women must be freed from shackles of prejudices. Prejudice we have got so many times. Prejudice means what? Bias. And no one should use the challenging lives of sex workers or their circumstances as some kind of abuse or slur. No one should use the lives of sex workers to pass a derogatory comment against someone. And it is nothing but showing prejudice against someone. And they must be freed from shackles of prejudices. And no one should use the challenging lives of sex workers or their circumstances as some kind of abuse or slur. We should not bring them into picture. If you want to abuse someone, abuse directly. You should not take the reference of sex workers. That's what it means. Ms. Renaud expressed her hurt. She got hurt. And here it's an important word. You have to recollect. In English, we have so many verbs are there, but 5 words are very important from the exam point of view. And they come under irregular verbs. They have the same forms. First one, cost. Second one, cast. Third one, telecast. Fourth one, broadcast. And the fifth one is hurt. And common errors, people say cost, costed, costed, wrong. Cast, casted, casted, wrong. Telecasted, wrong. Broadcasted, wrong. Hurted, wrong. Hurt. Ms. Renault expressed her hurt, and a political storm has erupted over Ms. Sheenay's needless, pejorative comments ahead of a crucial general election when there are many issues at stake. She got hurt, obviously, and based on Srinath's comment, there was a political storm. Political storm erupted. It resulted in political storm, and her needless pejorative comments. When did they come? Ahead of a crucial general election. General elections are fast approaching, and ahead of that, these needless, unwanted, unnecessary, pejorative, an important word, expressing contempt or disapproval comments ahead of a crucial general election when there are many issues at stake. We have so many issues at stake. What are the issues at stake before general elections? From the electoral bond scheme scam, one, rising unemployment, another problem, distress of the poor. Distress means what? Extreme anxiety, worry, or sorrow. In this context, sorrow, shrinking space for freedom of expression, and so on. When we have these important problems, it is needless and unwanted, unwarranted to pass pejorative comments. That's what the sentence means. Some students have been contributing. Please have a look at the comment box and you can learn a lot. By blaming others for what appeared on her handle, this politician, Supriya Srinath, instead of owning, apologizing, she put it on others. When we put the responsibility on someone else, we say pass on the buck, one important idiom. By blaming others for what appeared on her handle, Ms. Srinath has gone against everything she vouches to stand for. Vouch means assert or confirm as a result of one's own experience that something is true or accurately so described. Here you can also say stand for, support. Based on this behavior, she has gone against everything she vouches to stand for. Whatever she wants to support, and she is known for that, she goes against that, particularly on women. Her colleague Pawan Khera's clarification. Someone came to her rescue. Who came to her rescue? Pawan Khera, her colleague. Pawan Khera's clarification that she can never resort to such talk. She can never resort to such talk. They wanted to defend, saying that she will not do something like that. Also, does not cut ice, an important idiomatic expression. Does not cut ice means does not make any effect or impact. Does not make any effect or impact, and it does not convincing because the objectionable language did appear under her name, her account, her name, and it's obvious that she posted. She cannot escape, she cannot deny. And here there's one important expression, did appear. The writer could have said appeared under her name, but we use did appear to emphasize. That I have told many a time. By being on the receiving end, usually I use 2 words, giving end, receiving end. You have to know these two. I am teaching, I am at the giving end. You are receiving, you are at the receiving end. Someone commented against Ranauth. That means she is at the receiving end, and the one who commented at the giving end. By being on the receiving end, Ms. Renault too should refrain from, we got this word yesterday, stop oneself from doing something. Equally disparaging remarks, disparaging, I gave the word disparage, expressing the opinion that something is of little worth or derogatory. I have already used the word derogatory, means insulting. Disparaging remarks such as those she had made, first she made, so past perfect. This is something very important she had made in the past against a fellow woman actor who had got an election ticket. Kangana Ranaut made a similar comment, disparaging remark in the past against a woman actor who got the ticket, who got an election ticket. And being at the receiving end, she has to refrain herself from making disparaging remarks. For women, challenges persist at home and in the workplace. Now, the editorial comes to generally what is the status of women, what is the present scenario when it comes to the problems of women. For women, challenges persist. Persist means what exists for a long time at home and in the workplace. In the present scenario, they face a long road to gender equality, which remains frustratingly out of reach. Today, we talk about gender equality. Women face a lot of problems, and to come out of this, it's a long way, a long road to gender equality, which remains frustratingly out of reach. It looks like, because it's a long way, it looks like out of reach. This is the present scenario. Based on that, to substantiate that, India finally passed a law last year to reserve 33% of seats for women legislators, but there has been no deadline set for its implementation. It is paradoxical. Last year, passed a law last year to reserve 33% of seats for women legislators. Good, positive. But there has been no deadline set for its implementation. Present perfect, active voice. No deadline set for its implementation. It is as good as not doing anything. It is paradoxical. In the absence of such a commitment, no deadline, no commitment. It is only on paper. It remains a wish on paper. It is on paper. It's a wish on paper. In reality, nothing has changed. The initial candidates, again, you have to be alert. Here we have a noun, a plural noun that ends in the letter S. Then we should use apostrophe after the letter S. The initial candidates list show that even the BJP, under whose watch the legislation came into place, during the BJP regime, this legislation came into place, is nowhere close to reaching the 33% mark. Even the BJP, which has passed the law, during whose regime the law was passed last year, is nowhere near 33% mark. A key factor that can immediately have a positive outcome for women's empowerment. If at all there is 33% in the real sense, it is going to make a positive outcome for women's empowerment. It will have a positive outcome for women's empowerment. When the Women's Reservation Bill 2023 last year was passed, past tense passive voice, about 14% of the Lok Sabha legislators were women, far below the global average of 26.5%. It talks about the status of women in the political arena or political sphere. Globally, what is the percentage? 26.5%. But after the passing of this particular bill last year, 14%, far below the global average. And coming to Himachal Pradesh, has only one woman Lok Sabha MP. Women should have a voice in how their lives should be run, and becoming an elected representative is one step towards ensuring policies are made and implemented with them in mind. When it comes to fighting for gender equality, when it comes to fighting for equal rights, women should have a voice. They have to raise the voice. They need a platform. And what is the first step towards that? They have to contest in elections. They have to become MPs and MLAs. Then they can bring about the change. This sentence talks about that. Women should have a voice, should used to advise or suggest, or it also used to express a possibility where the chances are less. Women should have a voice in how their life should be run. and becoming an elected representative, either MP or MLA, is one step towards ensuring policies are made and implemented with them in mind. With them in mind means what? With the problems of women in mind. Women should work towards removing barriers to their advancement, not make the path more difficult. How does the editorial end? Women should work towards removing barriers. They are facing problems and they should work towards removing the barriers to their advancement, and they should not make the path more difficult. Inappropriate comments, derogatory remarks against one another or against each other, in a way, not the right direction. They should focus on something else, not make the path more difficult. That's all about this editorial. Let us go to comprehension skill based on this editorial. Try to answer quickly. What is the central issue discussed in the editorial? Excuse me. All of you have a look at the comment box. So many words are there. A few students have been contributing. I appreciate. Please answer this. The controversy surrounding a social media post by Supriya Srinath. Answer is A. How does the editorial characterize a discourse in politics, especially towards women? Characterize a discourse in politics, political discourse, discussion, especially towards women. Constructive and supportive, then no need to write this editorial. Toxic and derogatory. What is the answer here? Diplomatic and neutral. Irrelevant and inconsequential. No. The answer is B. According to the editorial, what is one criticism directed towards Supriya Srinath's response to the controversy? She offered a sincere apology. She did not do that. She deflected blame and failed to take responsibility. Hold this one. She immediately retracted the controversial post. This also you can hold. She justified the use of derogatory language in politics. No. The editorial says she deflected blame. That means she put the blame on someone else and failed to take responsibility. That is not acceptable. Answer is B, not C. Yes. What is emphasized as a crucial step towards achieving gender equality in politics? This is all about gender equality, though it is about comments, the broad idea, gender equality and progress of women or women empowerment. Enforcing stricter social media regulations, increasing women's representation in legislative bodies, implementing a quota system for male politicians, limiting the freedom of expression for women. No. Answer is what? B is the answer. Increasing women's representation in legislative bodies so that they can frame new laws and implement the new laws which work towards the betterment of women. How does the editorial suggest women should contribute to advancing their own political empowerment? By refraining from participating in politics altogether, by advocating for policies that benefit only women, by removing barriers to their own advancement. This has been emphasized. By removing barriers, impediments, hurdles, blocks, bottlenecks to their own advancement. They should remove. Answer is C. That's all for today. Slowly, I'm cutting down the time for two reasons. I'm going to start mock separately. All these days, please listen for 2 minutes. Some students may wonder, sir, why are you not bringing a mock practice question based on exam topics? I wanted to separate the Hindu editorial and mocks. Because of that, I haven't been bringing. Soon I'm going to start mocks, separate mocks. And I got very good response for mocks, but here I'm not getting the same response when I clubbed with the Hindu. That is one reason. Second reason, I am starting today at 7:30. There is another session, the Hindu editorial analysis in Telugu. And that also I need to spend. I want to reach Telugu students, and that is at 7:30. Keeping that also in mind, I'm cutting down. And I'm going to come up with mocks not only in English but also in Telugu. Those sessions could be in the afternoon. Very soon you will come to know. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. And do remember, have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.